All right. All right. We're loading in. Good morning, Momentos. This is going to be a fun one. You got to prepare yourself. We're going to do a little work today. Welcome to Thurston Parry with Vico Ortiz. I'm Charlie, head tinkerer, shoemaker here at Momentus. Everybody's loading in now, so it's so nice to see all of you. The chat is open, so feel free to use that chat. We are so excited for today's event. There's so much to cover and so little time. So feel free to use that chat and chat with each other. I just want to do a couple of reminders here up at the top. So I'm just going to hit those real quick. There is a strike happening with SAG-AFTRA and the WGA right now. Those guidelines prohibit any discussion about shows or projects or studios that struck shows in particular. And so we just want to be really respectful. This is a critical time for those unions, and we want to do our part and support them in their process. So we're going to adhere to those guidelines and make sure we don't, we could talk, pirates are fun, but we're not going to talk about anything in specifics to give respect to our fellow union members. If you are called on to speak, please speak clearly and slowly. I have a problem speaking too quickly and jumbling my words, but you'll do better than me. I just know you will. So yeah, if you come in, try not to overlap talking, try to speak clearly and in complete sentences. I will also do my best. All right. Meet and greets will take place in a separate Zoom link, so make sure you have that. If you don't, email support@bmoment.us. That's BEMOMENT.us. And front row, we're doing things a little differently now. So if you would like to be part of the front row, we are doing a random drawing. So all you have to use is hit that raise your hand feature if you have a working camera and mic, you have a sword, and you are ready to party. That would be that. Those are the things that you need to do. All right, moving on here. If you are at home, ready to do this thing, we'd love if you'd post a photo on social media so we can see you in any regalia. If you're wearing a beard, no beard, if you have a sword, and then tag not only Momentus, but Vico. And you can find Vico on Twitter at _Vico_Ortiz and Puerto Rican Ninja on Instagram. Cool. So yeah, camera ready, be camera ready. My mod is now going to start. Oh my goodness, I'm already seeing people. There's just shenanigans already happening down there. How many, do you have a full pirate crew? All right, now there's going to be, I'm so worried now there's going to be some sort of mutiny situation. We already have, Sammy, what are you doing there? You ready to roll? Yes, you are. All right. Man, we're going to have such a good time. All right, so make sure you raise your hand. We'll pull you into the front row. We'll get to that. Our charity for this event, remember, La Borivogue. They are an organization using the ballroom as a tool for liberation and social justice. The House of Borivogue seeks to create spaces in the community where people can experience Hayaira. I didn't say that right. Hayaira. There it is, which is the search for happiness. We'll talk about that with Vico in a minute. But we have so much work to do. I don't want to waste any more time. Throw me off the starboard bow. Make me walk the plank. Vico, are you in the house right now? All right, here we go. Spotlight.
Oh my God, it's happening.
It's all happening. All right.
Ah! Good morning, buenos dias, everybody. Here we go. Well, I'm Vico Ortiz. I use they, them pronouns, and I am so excited to be here. Charlie, thank you for the intro. I want to get started because we only have about an hour, and I want to touch base as in many things as I possibly can. Will I be seeing people on the screen as well? Yeah.
Yes, if you swipe
is that already
over,
chosen? If I swipe
over, you can see the gallery there. And if you call on somebody, we will pull them in for you so that you can see them directly as well.
There it is. There's the gallery mode. Beautiful. I'm on my iPad because, again, there'll be a lot of movement. So I want to make sure that you get a good, oh, look at everybody with their swords. Oh, this is amazing. Oh, I'm obsessed. Oh, I'm swiping at everybody now. So I'm just like looking at all the, oh my goodness. I have a cousin here. Ortiz, what's up? Oh my gosh, incredible. I love. Oh, I see familiar faces here too. This is exciting. Okay, great. I'm gonna just go ahead and get started. Let's do a very easy warm up. So swords down, and we'll get to the swords soon. I want to start first with footwork. And then once we get the footwork going, we'll do some easy parries and then some easy thrusts and cuts, and then we'll be done. Oh my goodness. So we'll just like stand or sit wherever you are, and then we're just gonna like move our head forwards and stretch the back of our neck nice and slow. There you go. And then slowly roll to the right side, very, very slowly, very, very gently. I don't know who's in Eastern time or Pacific time or wherever time, but just nice and slow. If it's like the first time you move your neck, and then go back into the middle and roll to the left side, nice and slow. There you go. And roll again back to the middle and bring the head back up. We're gonna roll the shoulders back. 1, and nice and slow 2, and nice and slow 3, and 4. And now we roll forwards. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. And we're gonna grab our right arm and cross it over our chest and stretch the triceps. And nice and slow, we're going to switch sides again. Bring the left arm over our chest and stretch the other tricep. There's fancier muscle words. I don't know them. I just know it feels good. And we bring them back down. And this is going to be a good one for what, and you'll see it. You'll want to do it afterwards as well. We're going to extend the arm forwards and very gently pull down our arm. So we stretch this side. You're going to feel it. It's going to feel so, so good. And then after you're done with this class, you're going to want to stretch it again, because these muscles get used a lot. And then we do a little fruity moment there, and we pull. Love it. Very nice and gently stretch this side. And the other hand, same thing. Stretch that wrist nice and gently. This stretch feels fruity and I love it. Yes. Okay, great. Yeah, for those, Charlie, your wrist. Oh, yeah, it's blessed. This is going to be a lot of wrist movement. And then we switch again. Fruity moment. Yes. Love, love, love. Incredible. And now I'm going to move you to, you're still going to stop seeing my face, but you're going to see my legs, because we're going to, after this, start getting on those footwork things. So I'm going to stand up nice and gently. And we're going to very gently go down and stretch the back of our hamstrings. There you go. You want to bend your knees a little bit and get a little deeper in there. Nice and low. Just sway a little bit. Gentle with our bodies. Is going to be very exciting, but we're going to put them through some fun new movements. So nice and gentle. And we bend those knees a little bit and very, very slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, we're going to roll back up very nice and gently. The last thing that comes up is your head. Nice and gentle. Lovely. And now that we're standing, we're going to grab one leg up, stretch this side. There you go. As you see here, nice and stretched. You're going to want this. You're going to love this. And then we switch legs. Nice little flamingo moment. Love it. And we bring those legs back down. And let's get started, shall we? So stay standing where you're at. We're gonna do some footwork. I'm gonna try to, have you all be as close. Actually, let me go ahead and do this. So that way you can maybe see a bit more of that. Love it. So for fencing, hi, I'm gonna just like be moving everywhere. So for fencing, we're gonna focus on one hand sword thing. I'm not going to do a two-hander broadsword style. We're going to focus on one hand. So the on guard for this is going to be a little bit different for a two-hander sword. I'll later show. So we'll focus on that end. So first, you're going to have your dominant. If you're going to be holding your sword with your right hand, your right leg should be first. If your dominant is your left, the leg goes first. So I'm going to stand now. What you're going to do is you're going to have your dominant side facing forwards, and then your non-dominant side facing to the other side. So you're making an L shape. You're going this way and that way, an L shape, fully L shape. And you want your heels to be touching. This is so once you get to the on guard, you'll see. But so left leg if it's your non-dominant hand facing one end, so you're kind of like going like this. Nice little motion like that, right? So for me, my dominant side is the right side, so I'm gonna face this way, my left leg that way. And then to get to the on guard position, you're gonna take a nice little step forwards. You want your heel to be nice and kind of like bent around like what your hips are at. This is kind of like this. This is the on guard position for your legs. And you want like a invisible line between your front heel and your back heel. So you want that invisible line right there. Now, this is fun stuff. This is an ongoing squat. I used to have like, my legs were like insane. I like would be able to be in squat position for like thousands of years. I'm getting old now and I can't do that anymore. But so this is an ongoing squat and you'll be moving in a squat position like all the time. So get ready. So this is the on guard, literally non-dominant hand, leg facing to the side, dominant leg facing forwards, invisible line in between. When you're on your on guard, when you are making an advance, meaning you're moving forwards, you don't want to start with your non-dominant leg. You want to start with your dominant leg. So what happens is you advance, you go heel, toe, and then the non-dominant leg follows. Nice and easy, nice and gentle. And when you're going backwards, when you're retreating, your dominant leg does not go first, is your non-dominant leg that goes first. So that one searches back, toe, heel, and then dominant comes forward. So when you're advancing, the one that's in front goes first, heel, toe, non-dominant follows. When you're retreating, the back one goes first, toe, heel, and the front one comes back. You do not want to advance like this. This is not how you want to advance. You don't want to go kakan, kakan. And you don't want to retreat, kakan, kakan. You want to advance like this, and you want to retreat like this. So let me see if I have like everybody. I'm trying to see all my little cubes here. Cool. Love it. Amazing. Incredible. Yes. And you want to be nice. I'm going to put myself a little bit higher so maybe you can see a bit more of my body. I love. Fancy iPad. There we go. So you see a bit more of my body when it moves on the top. So yeah, it's a little bit there, but when you're advancing this way and when you're retreating that way, and you want to stay in that same level. You don't want to jump up. You don't want to jump down. You want to stay nice and leveled. Yeah, it's a fun one. You're gonna stay in that squat. Your legs are gonna hurt after this. Prepare yourselves. I said work. Oh my goodness. So yeah, when you're advancing, advance, advance, advance. When you're retreating, retreat, retreat, retreat. And again, no galloping, even though that's really fun. You want to stay nice and leveled in that same playing field. Now, fun. I see we got the advances and the retreats there. This is the fun stuff. So this is the advances and the retreats. These are very fencing, right? Now we're going to add a little fancy flair sword fighting to some of these like advances. We're going to do a cross advance and a cross backwards. So you have your on guard position, right? And I said the advance was front leg, back leg, retreat, back leg, front leg. When you are making a cross forward or a cross backwards, this is the kicker. Your back leg crosses your front leg, and then you put your front leg forward. We're gonna start that one more time. So you're on guard, you're gonna cross forward. So your back leg crosses in front, and then the front leg goes forward. How we doing over there? How we vibing? Fantastic, love it, amazing. Okay, so on guard, we cross forward, bam, bam. And then when we cross backwards, I'm gonna move a little bit here. We cross backwards, the front leg crosses behind this leg, the back leg, and then the back leg follows. So crossing forward, back leg in front of the front leg. This one follows. Crossing backwards, front leg crosses behind, and then the back leg follows.
We have a couple of people who need one more time too. And if there's anyone here in the front row that needs a little bit of support too, just raise your hand.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to see there. Yeah, how we doing? How we feeling with the leg? Which was the question? Let me look up.
Just to do one more time on that last movement. Also, if you mobility wise, if any of these are not workable for the body that you have, make sure you modify. Go ahead and modify and
absolutely, absolutely. And I'll focus. This is more like footwork, and then once we get to the hand stuff, literally, if you want to be sitting down, it's totally fine. Totally good. Can't say it one more time. Perfect. Love it. I'm gonna put my anything over here so you see. So the cross goes back leg in front of the front leg, and then cross again. Let me see if I can go a little backwards here so you can see more.
And
so back leg.
You can do from the front as well, instead of side by side too, just so that people can
perfect.
Back foot is doing.
Amazing, yeah. So you got this. When you're crossing forwards, back leg does this, and then wapa. And then when you're crossing backwards, front leg goes first, pamf, and pamf. So crossing forwards, crossing backwards.
Hey, Vico, why don't you turn it so that it's vertical again? Because I think people will be able to see where your hips are at as well.
Beautiful. I'm so glad that I have this iPad thing.
It's perfect.
Fancy stuff. Fabulous. So this is my on guard. Crossing forwards, cross leg, crossing backwards. There you go. Crossing forward. Crossing backward. Fantastic. And then, so that is the advance, that is the crosses. We're gonna do a little bit of a lunge because that's gonna be good whenever you do a thrust attack. I keep mixing, I was practicing and I was like, keep mixing like thrust and thirst. And I was like, you don't want to thirst at somebody. I mean, sometimes you do, but thrust. Also, you don't want to thrust at people, but for the purpose of, you know, sword fighting, it is necessary evils. So for, yeah, everyone's like, absolutely, we do. So for a lunge, I'm gonna put you back down here. You wanna be on your on guard position, and your non-dominant leg is gonna be used as a spring. It's gonna be the thing that's gonna lunge you forwards. So your non-dominant leg, whether it's your left leg or if you're lefty, your right leg, I'm gonna use my left on this case, is gonna be used like whenever you have a spring and you like push it down and then you like let it go and it just like pops up. That's kind of how you want to use your left leg to have that type of power. So your left leg is gonna like go a little bit low and it's gonna lunge you forward into kind of like these like stretch lunges, this kind of situation. Love to see it. Let me see if I can like move myself a little back here, and then that way y'all can see my whole body a bit more. There we go. Nice. Incredible. So you're in your on guard. Your non-dominant leg is going to spring you forward. So you're gonna take like, it's like a massive advanced step that you're taking with your right leg. The reason why I'm using your left leg as the one that's actually, the one that actually has the power is because if you just like extend in your dominant leg forward, that's a lunge, but you're not gonna be advancing that much forward to get to your opponent. So if you're on your on guard position and you use your left leg to lunge you forward, you see the difference? Like if I'm on my on guard and I just extend to a lunge, I stay here. Easy breezy, big step forward. Left leg stays straight and I go back on my on guard. But if I use my left leg to lunge forward in my attack, boom, there's power behind that. Lovely, I'm seeing some great lunges in my cubes here. Nice, nice, nice. Love to see it, love to see it. Your legs tomorrow or later today are gonna be blaming me, and I assume responsibility. Lovely, amazing, incredible, incredible. Great. So that is, you go from your on guard, that is your lunge, right? And as you can see, I'm extending also my arm because that's an attack. This is an attack motion, which we'll be getting there once we start getting with the basics of the swords. Perfect. And when you get back to your on guard, you go back in this way. You go from lunge to back to your on guard. Lovely. Okay, just time. The time is now to use the swords, although I know that everybody's been using swords already. Amazing, incredible. I'm gonna use my little cutlass here. I see a lot of beautiful foam swords. I see some broadsword action. Oh, that's a short sword, beautiful. I love it, amazing. Let me see which swords everybody's been using. If you don't have a sword, just to make sure, here we go, using your wand today, amazing. Let me go ahead and put myself nice and as straight as I can be, as I'm a homosexual. There we go. Great. So whether you're using a sword, if you're using a sword, make sure that you know what your true edge is. Your true edge is where the sharp end would be. If you don't have a sword, an easy way to know that is by knowing how you're holding it, right? So the way that you're holding your sword, your thumb, your index, and your middle finger are the three most important parts of holding a sword. These two are there to sort of help guide, but they're not really, you shouldn't hold your sword fully like this, you know? Let me see if I can grab a one that has less fancy shenanigans. So you don't want to hold your sword like this. This is not, you're not going to have enough control with this. You don't want to hold it like this either and like really put a lot of pressure here. You want to hold it so that the thumb and the index are like the main points of contact. You know how you're playing video games and you like, I don't know video games nowadays, but back in the day when PlayStation was a thing, I don't know, is that still a thing? Xbox, I have no idea. There's like virtual reality now, but you normally, like, your controller is your index and your thumb. Those are the two most important parts in your sword play. So you want to put your thumb on this end and it's still a thing, yay! And your index be the points, right? And then your middle finger helps with that, right? So you want to have index, middle, and thumb be the main players here. So if you don't have a sword with you and say you have a pen, right? My true edge would be where the index finger is. So that is my true edge. This is kind of nice with chopsticks, yeah. Perfect. So this is your true edge. Your true edge means where the sharp end is. That's going to be what's going to protect you. That's going to be what we're going to be using for parries. And it's also we're learning how to thrust and cut, that is where your true edge is. So that's where you're going to be handling. So you won't be doing this with your thumb or parrying with your thumb. You're going to be imagining that the true edge is where your index finger is. And that is what's going to protect you when we get to that part. Lovely. So fantastic. Oh, I see someone with two swords in here. Incorrect. Oh, wait, no, that's oh no, that is two swords. Amazing. Okay, lovely. Let me go ahead and put you here. Love it. So you got your true edge. You're holding your weapon. Nice. Like that, like so, right? Again, this is the most important bit. And you're on your on guard position. When you're on your on guard, remember again, heels are in this invisible line. You also want to be sort of like not squared off. You want to be kind of in that same line with your chest, your body, and your arm. And as you can see, my guard is facing forwards. I'm not doing like this because what? This exposes all of this. And I'm not going like this because this exposes all of this. I'm going to be nice and centered in my on guard with my weapon. I see some folks that are cool, some larger, bigger swords. That's perfect. I'll show, if I have time, how to hold those with both hands and have a nice center. But yeah, this is your on guard. Your on guard is nice and as linear as one can be, right? But just make sure, at least with this area, that you're not going like this or going like that, because then that exposes parts of your body that you do not want to have exposed. This is your center. The first parry I'm going to teach you, it's not a saber parry. Why is it not a saber parry in fencing? Because in fencing, in saber, your weapon, your point system is from the hip up. And the parry I'm going to show you protects your bottom left side. This is a fun, fancy sword fighting stunt parry. So you're facing forward. We're going to go very, very slow in here. We're going to move the wrist. If you're a right, I'm seeing a lot of righties on my cue here, so great. You're going to move your wrist as if you're like Spider-Man and you're like about to like, you know, do a little bit of like spider web there, like that. And then you're gonna turn your wrist around as if you're looking at the time. And then you wanna make sure, as you can see here, that I am covering the left bottom side of my body. So we're gonna go boom, 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 boom. Incredible. We're gonna go back to on guard. Back to on guard. Make sure that's nice and center. Move the wrist as if you're about to throw some spider webs. Twist. So you're about to look at the time. And that is the first parry. And the reason why I'm going around, you see I'm doing a little bit of this rather than going like this. The reason why I'm going, you know, in this like big motion and going to this is because you want to always push the other person's weapon away from you. Every movement is always away, 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 away from you. If I go from on guard and someone's coming at me and I do this, I have a high chance of bringing that weapon towards me, you know, and you don't want that. You don't want that weapon coming towards you. So you want to go from on guard and you do that like little, you see my weapon kind of making like a half moon. And then look at my time. And you see, and specifically in that space when I go like, bam, I am moving that weapon. Whoever is coming at me, I'm like pushing it away. Not my leg today, sir. Not my leg today. That's kind of like, get away from me. So we go on guard again. And very gently do that little half circle. And then let's look at the time and voila, parry right there. That is the very first parry. Lovely. So from parry number 1, very easy. Parry number 2 covers the right side of your leg. So this covers your left side of your leg. This covers the right side. Let me see if I can maybe push my screen a little low. You don't need to see my face for this. Although it might be nice to look at sometimes. So your second parry is here. This covers your right leg. So if someone's coming at you, again, remember the true edge is always facing away, away, away. Parry number 2, right here. So we're gonna go back to on guard. On guard, and we're just gonna do parry number 2, parry number 2, whoop, bam. Nice. Back to on guard. Parry number 2, bam. Lovely. And that, you know, if we're choreographing something or whatever, right? And someone's coming at you, normally you would do like a little up, you know, you would like move your leg as well, right? For like, if you're choreographing something and someone's coming at you, you're just like, oh shit, no. You know, cover that out. Get the leg out and get the sword into parry. Nice. So again, back to on guard. Parry number 2, boom. Protecting your right leg. And back to on guard. Parry number 3. Super easy, super simple. And this is when you start really seeing the movement of your fingers and your wrist as vital. Right now on guard has your guard area facing forward. Your true edge facing forward. Parry number 3 covers your top right side. So parry number 3, pam. You see how my true edge moved from the neutral position to protection position. And that's literally the wrist right there as a wrist movement. So there you go. If someone's coming at you with like a cut to the body, you just like, whoop, not today. You know, you go from your on guard, whoop, protect that. Love it. Amazing. And parry number 3, boop. back to on guard, parry number 3, boop. Lovely. That is literally the wrist right there. Parry number 4, on guard, covers the upper left side. There you go. So if someone's coming at you in this way, true edge right there. We got to the on guard, parry number 4, pam. Back to on guard, parry number 4, bam. Back to on guard. So I'm gonna do this really fast and we're gonna go really, really slow, but we're now just covering bottom left, bottom right, bottom up right, up left. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna do this really sort of fast and then we'll do it nice and slow so we can do 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna go nice and slow now, all right? On guard, parry number 1, nice and slow, protecting your bottom left leg. Parry number 2, protecting your bottom right leg. Parry number 3, protecting your upper right side. And remember how I was like doing, you know, like you're always pushing away, right? You're always pushing away, pushing away. We're doing 4, pam, right there. Sorry, I skipped because I got excited. Let's go back to on guard. Lovely, on guard. Parry number 1, nice and slow. Parry number 2, nice and slow. Parry number 3. And parry number 4. Lovely. 3 and 4 are gonna be boom. So 3 and 4 is usually what you do in saber fencing. And normally you either do a lot of like, you do 3, a lot of 4, a lot of 3, and then you kind of like switch around as well. Again, always moving, you're always moving the sword away from you. So that way, if anyone's coming at you, you're just like, bah, whack it away, whack it away. If someone's coming at you, bam, whack it away, whack it away. And same, if someone's coming at your leg, bam, whack it away. Always in these like circles, goodbye. You normally, again, don't do a lot of like the first parry or the prima. Sometimes in foil, you will see like people doing like some like really cool, like, you know, high prima situations. We're not gonna do that today. Whew, okay, back to on guard. Fantastic, back to on guard in that neutral position. We're gonna go again to prima, the first parry. Nice and slow. Yes, love, 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 excellent. And make sure those like elbows are nice and low. You don't wanna go too high. You wanna be nice and strong in this position. If someone's coming at you, you have this, it's not gonna go anywhere. It's not gonna go anywhere. And then parry number 2, bam. There you go, lovely. Parry number 3, parry number 4, and then parry number 5, which covers your head. You go from 4 and 5. Let me go ahead and move this a little higher so you can see more of me. Lovely. So parry number 5, right here. This one is the one, if someone's coming at your head, this protects you from it. Lovely. You don't wanna be too far out. You don't wanna be too far in. You know, be nice in the middle. There you go. So if someone's coming at you, boop, boop, you're nice and protected. So one more time, we're gonna do 1 through 5, nice and slow. On guard. Parry number 1, look at the time. And I also saved my leg. And parry number 2, lovely. Nice, parry number 3. Parry number 4. And parry number 5, bam. Nice, nice, nice. And you sort of, when you're in your on guard, just to kind of like, when you're ever in your like neutral position, you want to have your elbow about like 4 fingers away from your hip. So this is kind of how it looks like from the side. I'm not super over here. I'm not super over there. Not on the left side either. I'm nice and kind of just like a gentle 4-finger distance from my my waist, my hip. And so you have that there. Lovely. Okay, we're gonna review these parries again, and then I'm gonna like quickly go through the attacks of all of these, the counters of all of these. And then there we go. I think I almost did it all before 11. Lord Jesus, it's a lot to take in. It's a lot to take in. Be nice and easy on yourselves. Really give your dominant arm a nice little love-in afterwards, because, you know, we're holding a lot of tension here, right? I think it's foam, so but it's still, you know, the consistency of having your arm in tension can definitely be there. So let's review those parries again. We were on our arm guard. We go 1. We go 2. We go 3. We go 4. And we go 5. Nice, amazing, amazing, amazing. And so now we're going to do the attacks that go to all of these. In saber fencing versus sword fencing, or sword fighting in stunts, because, you know, swords is a general general term. With saber fencing, you want to obviously touch your opponent, and you want your weapon to be the first thing that gets there. So most of saber fencing, you'll see a lot more thrusting than cutting. In cool sword fight stunts, you see a lot more cuts because they're very flashy and they're very big, right? But for saber fencing, you don't want to have big moves because that exposes a lot of your wrist area. And in saber fencing, your wrist is included in the point system. So if you're attacking somebody and you do this, you are exposing all of your arm for that other person to counter attack you. And you don't want that. So for saber fencers, you don't want to cut that much. You want to thrust. But for cool sword fighting stunts, you want to do more cuts and mix them with some thrusting, but you get those like really cool, like bam and bam, you know, versus like for fencing, you want to really get in there quickly. So again, difference between thrusting and cutting would be thrusting. You want to have your weapon, like you're thrusting your weapon, you're getting in there, right? Versus cutting, it's almost like a baseball bat. You're like getting a whack in there, right? You're like getting a whack. Thrusting, you're going in. Cutting, you're going this way. And I'm being very big with my movements right now. In saber fencing, you never want to go in and out. The reason why, again, if you want to get your weapon in first, you want to get that weapon in first. But for stunts, you don't want to actually hit your person. And you want to be really obvious about where you're going in case the person doesn't parry, in case there's like, they forget where to go. That way you're never near that person. And then, so in motions for saber fencing, if I'm going to cut, or I'm going to go at someone's left side of their body, in saber fencing, I want to go weapon first, arm, body, leg. So it looks like this. If I'm going to go and like thrust at someone's like left side, I go weapon first, because if I that's the first thing I want to get to. Weapon first, arm, body, and leg at the end. However, for stunts, you want to be the complete opposite. You want the weapon to be the very last thing that goes in to avoid accidents. So you want to be leg first, your body, your arm, and you're really obvious I'm going to go there, bam, the weapon be the last thing. you see the difference of like, you know, if you're in a competitive situation and you want to like get that person, you're like, boom, that the weapon is the thing that leads you. The weapon is the thing that leads you. But for stunt sword fighting, you want to be the weapon, the last thing that goes in there in case the person forgets. So that was a fun thing that I learned because I have a fencing background. So when I started doing stunts, I had to like rewire my brain into like, I don't actually want to hit the person. I don't actually want to thrust at you. So we're going to go on our guard. And let's do cuts first because they're a little easier and a little flashier. So we're going to cut leg left, but technically it would be like you would be going to your right, essentially, right? So remember that first parry? This is what is going to parry this attack. So we're going to go on guard, and we're going to cut on that person's leg. So our right, their left. We're going to cut that one. And if I was on your other side and I was parrying that, I would be like, not today. So you would go back to on guard and you cut left leg. And then we go back to the middle to on guard and cut that one. And if we're going to cut the other leg, we're going to switch, bam, and hit that other one. Back to on guard. Let me see if I can like move this a little back so you can see more of the body. So we're gonna cut right there, left leg, and then cut right leg, bam. Again, big, broad movements. This is like the cuts. When you see like people going for like advance and then retreat and then advance and then retreat, that's kind of like what you see. It's like that big, like, before I start cutting my walls, you see advance, you see with the leg, you retreat, you cover your leg, maybe you thrust, and then you parry. A lot of like back and forth, especially for like pirates. You see a lot of those like gag, 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 gag. Okay, so back to the on guard. We've cut leg left, we cut leg right, and then we're gonna now cut upper body. So bam. Doing the same like 1, 2, 3, 4, but the attack version. And then 4. And back to the on guard. We're going 1, we're going 2, we're going 3, we're going 4. And back to the on guard. And we're doing cut 1, cut 2, cut 3, cut 4. And the last one, 5. Want to make sure that's nice. And bam, on the 5.
You don't even
and if
need
you have
sound effects, Vico. We got like built-in sound effects that everybody's digging right now. You don't even
incredible.
Need
and it's like bam and swish and all that good stuff. I speak in a lot of like onomatopoeias, I realize. For those of you who are, I see a little group there, you can, if you want, like go and practice 3, 3, 4, 4. So for example, I'm gonna hit your 3, you're gonna parry your 3, right? And then I'm gonna go 4, and then you parry 4. So for those of you who are like in pairs, you can do 3, maybe you can even go back and forth. So like 3, 3, 4, 4, and then 3, 3, 4, 4, 3, 3, 4, 4. And if you want to add footwork to that, if you're with friends and whatnot, you can literally go forwards, advance, retreat, advance, retreat. And you have a nice little like bam, bam, little, you know, 3, 3, 4, 4, 3, 3, 4, 4. And you have a little bit of a choreo there already, you know what I'm saying? And if you want to do like 2, 2, maybe you can add the 2 as well in there. It's a little easier, so that way you don't have to like think about to the 1 too much. You can go 2, 2. That'd be 4. Yeah, so it'd be 2, 2, 4, 4, 3, 3. You can choreograph a bunch of shenanigans with that. With 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you can choreograph all you want and go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So let's review the parries and let's review the cuts. I'm staying with cuts. But the difference between a cut and a thrust, it literally is the intention behind it. For a thrust, you want to get that in there, versus a cut, you want to whack it. That's kind of like the intention behind. So let's review the parries. We're back on our guard, on guard. Parry number 1, parry number 2, parry number 3, 4, 5, and back to the on guard, and we cut. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's kind of the gist. A speed round of fencing, sword fighting. Did I miss? Where did everybody go? Gallery. Oh, there we are. I don't know what happened. I was like, oh no, I missed everybody. Lovely. So one more time, on guard. Parry number 1. Parry number 2. Oh, look at everybody looking so good. Parry number 3 and 4. Yes. And 5. Lovely. Y'all look amazing. Honestly, like just saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and seeing everybody in unison. Ah, yes, yes, yes. I'm obsessed. And then we cut 1. We cut 2. We got 3. We got 4 and 5. Lovely. Yes, yes, yes. My goodness, I kind of want to do this again and like review all these and then like add more stuff, because there's so many things that like I want to do. Like I want to do a hanging 5, you know, that's like a lunge and a block, right? And we haven't even done the 6, which is, again, it's a sword fighting, not fencing. Hanging 6 is this way. So someone, you know, if you're like, someone's coming at you with like a big blow and you're like, fuck no, you know, you go that way. There's so many great things. I think that's kind of the gist. Charlie, what do you think?
You covered so much, and we have so many questions. There's so many people doing stuff. Hi, everybody in the front row. Y'all are doing so good, whether you're using like a mop or a sword or a foam sword. It's so cool. Vico, you're such a good teacher. You used to teach kids, right?
I used to teach kids, but this is like fun for me because I'm like doing it in English. So I was like, wait, hold up. What's the jam? But I love it. We covered a lot today. We covered a lot, but just in this last review, seeing everybody just like in the same time doing the damn thing, I was like, oh my goodness, it looks so great. It looks so wonderful. And then maybe we can like do, you know, something else where there's like a little bit of choreo, so you get a little bit of that, like, you know, movement, you get your footwork going, and you know how it feels to be, you know, doing more of that. I can't wait for
you to be at conventions and people come up and show you how they've been working on their choreography and on their like.
Yes, please. I had someone in one bring the knife that I like did the little thing, the video for, and they were like, look at me, and I was like, and they twirled it, and I was like, this is amazing. So I'm here for it.
Well, first of all, so just remember, a reminder for everybody, you can watch this after. We'll put this up and send you a link to watch this so you can keep reviewing your progress. Vico, you have so much knowledge, institutional knowledge, so much skill. I mean, this is a whole convention class waiting to happen. And
I need to do this. I'd be so happy to. I feel like I remember my very first convention. I think some people already know about this, but my first convention was in Puerto Rico. I was already fencing, and I got into fencing because I love swords, and I met this actor who was also a stunt guy, Ray Park, and I told him how he inspired me on how to be, you know, a stunt sword fighter. And in his panel, he was like, I'm gonna do some demos. I heard someone here is a fencer. You wanna come up here and like do a demo with me? So I would love
You
to
fenced
pay it back.
ball? What?
I know.
Yeah.
I was like, my 13-year-old body, I was like, oh my God, I get to do this.
That's so rad. Oh.
We only focus right now on like one arm sword combat, but like, you know, when we do broadswords or like, you know, double handers, the on guard is different, you know, so we can review a bunch of other stuff with those, you know. So, you know, there's a bunch of different ways.
So yeah, we will, just as a couple quick reminders, we're going to be moving to the meet and greet session, so get that link ready. You can watch this after the fact. We'll send you a link after we're done here. And remember, please continue to support Labor y Vogue, an important charity that's near and dear to Vico's heart, and the great work that they're doing there. And so thank you everybody for hanging out with us. Vico, thank you so much. And subscribe. Actually, Samba's going to be coming back for another thing in a little bit. We're going to be doing some more baking. So if you subscribe to the nutrition plan, get unlimited classes, like come on down. Let's the whole community that I'm not going to say the name of is very welcome. You're beautiful people. We love it.
I know, y'all. Honestly, I'm so proud of y'all. It's a lot to take in. So honestly, the fact that everybody was doing 1 through 5, both in parries and attacks, like in unison, warmed my heart. You're doing incredible. You're doing fantastic. Keep practicing. I love it. I'm so proud of y'all.
And support SAG-AFTRA, support Vico and their activism there too, because we need all the public support that we can get. So thank you all very much.
Yes, we do. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.